Fourscore and 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. As you walk around this life-size statue of Abraham Lincoln, imagine standing in the crowd before your president on November 19, 1863, in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, listening to his inspiring words that has impacted our nation in ways we never imagined. And that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. The Gettysburg Address had a lot of importance for the future of America. Lincoln's speech puts the Civil War in perspective as a test of the success of the American Revolution. His speech turned the event into a rededication of the Living to the War effort to preserve a nation of freedom. The American Civil War was a civil war between the United States of America, called the Union, and the Confederate States of America, formed by 11 southern states that had declared the secession from the Union. By Inauguration Day in March 1861, 7 southern states had seceded from the Union, and 4 more would follow in April. The Union won a decisive victory, followed by a period of Reconstruction. The causes of the war, the reasons for the outcome, and even the name of the war itself are subjects of much controversy even today. As the nation plunged into civil war, Lincoln proved a skillful and thoughtful leader and orator. In 1863, he issued the Emancipation Proclamation to free the slaves and delivered the Gettysburg Address that eloquently memorialized fallen soldiers. When looking at the statue of Lincoln, he holds the Emancipation Proclamation close to his heart, showing the significance of what it means. Henry Kirk Brown was an American sculptor who created the Abraham Lincoln sculpture that is located today in Brooklyn's Prospect Park, Concert Grove. The monument was funded by the War Fund Committee of Brooklyn. This statue became known as the first statue of Lincoln created in the Union and was finished a year later than the one created in Union Square. The monument was dedicated and established to those individuals that were abolitionists living in Brooklyn, dedicated on October 21, 1869, and was sponsored by local citizens that were involved in it. The Abraham Lincoln statue is a standing life-size figure on an integral plinth on pedestal with wreaths and insignia of U.S. Army and Navy at front and rear, and 2 eagles placed on each side, on the left and on the right. Lincoln is portrayed as a real man as he is holding the Emancipation Proclamation, where Brown's nephew and student both inscribed the words, "shall be forever free." This phrase is represented as the eagle, which holds the broken shackle in its talons. The wreaths reveal the measures that were taken by the president and all that he did for his country. This memorial signified the end of slavery as well as the Civil War and the beginning of something new, a victory. Brown was chosen as the person to depict and create the statue. He ended up writing a letter to Mr. Lincoln, Mr. P., stating and describing the design of the monument. According to Brown, if a statue is exposed to the open air, it should be of bronze, both for the sake of appearance and durability, not be less than 8 or 9 feet in height, and should surmount a suitable pedestal of granite or some suitable and lasting stone. Brown was hired immediately, but turned down because of disagreements of contracts and payments. Therefore, Brown was to provide a monetary security in order to complete the statue. This was the turning point where Brown included in his proposal to the committee that the Emancipation Proclamation should be included either inscribed on the pedestal or seen on a scroll held in his hands. He also proposed that the statue would be made of bronze, standing tall and pointing to the scroll showing the Emancipation Proclamation. Brown's proposal was finally approved on November 15, 1866, and started the project on March of 1868, in what is known today as Prospect Park. About 12,000 people came to see the statue that was going down in history when it was completed on October 21, 1869. The monument became a public phenomenon and was recognized with wreaths, flowers, and memorabilia on Memorial Day, which later on became known as Decoration Day. For decades, the sculpture was the scene of Decoration Day festivities, but by the 1980s, the statue had fallen on hard times. Its surface was marred by graffiti and environmental corrosion, and the 2 decorative bronze eagles and shields on its pedestal, as well as its scroll, had been stolen by vandals. An extensive restoration, funded by the Lincoln Savings Bank under the sponsorship of the Municipal Art Society's Adopt a Monument program, was completed in the spring of 1989. The Lincoln statue was a gift from the War Fund Committee of Kings County and is one of the oldest statues in the park, having originally stood in Grand Army Plaza until 1895. Today, the pathway leading to Lincoln is under construction, yet it does not take away from the meaning of the significant monument.